Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show. 2 more cup games here on Wednesday. Going to be getting into the matchups, the insights, and everything that you need here to get those bets down for yourselves on Wednesday. Rough night on Tuesday. Going to spend the end of the video there going into the bets, talking about all that stuff. But I am going to be using the projections that are up on landyourbets.com, the Swishland model that we're talking about each and every day, and then using Props Madness as well. So if that all sounds good, give this video a like. Let's get right into it. First game we're getting into here is the Suns and the Thunder. It's a 14.5-point spread. Devin Booker is questionable to play. This would be his first game back here in a little bit, like about a couple weeks, I believe. We've got Dylan Brooks with no questionable tag. He's going to be out there. And then Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, and Mark Williams, moving Colin Gillespie to the bench there. This is how I do believe they're going to the line up here for OKC. But we got to point one thing out. I've got Dort on Booker and then Kason Wallace on Dylan Brooks. Kason Wallace, I have that asterisk right there because there is a world where they start Jalen Williams over Kason Wallace, and that's Jaylin, Jaylin, right? Put him at center, have him deal with Mark Williams, Holmgren on Royce O'Neal, right? And then SGA on Grayson Allen and J-Dub on Dylan Brooks. That would be how it would look if Jaylin Williams is out there. That would be what I would do. I don't know what Dagenalt's going to do. He does love Kason Wallace in big minutes, so it's still just as likely that Wallace is out there and has another awesome perimeter defender for Brooks and Booker. If he is scared of Williams at all, I don't know if he's scared of Mark Williams, but I do like the matchup for Mark Will against Holmgren. He bullied him in their last matchup recently. Would consider that one again. Keep that in mind. If we look at OKC on offense and how the other the defense here for Phoenix will line up and match up, I think Brooks on SGA, that's a no-brainer no matter what. Booker, you just put him on whomever you don't care about in terms of Lou Dort, probably. Kason Wallace, much more involved in the offense, so you have Grayson Allen on him, Royce O'Neal on J-Dub, definitely no matter what. That's going to be it. Brooks on SGA, Royce on J-Dub. That's going to be how that works no matter what. And then Mark Williams on Holmgren. Obviously, if we see Jaylin Williams out there instead of Kason, like I said, this tweaks a little bit. But I think you want Royce O'Neal on J-Dub no matter what, and Brooks on SGA no matter what as well. This is the aforementioned model here, the projections that are up on the site. Swish is working on those behind the scenes as well, updating those consistently, but they are going to be really quick and up to date. As soon as any injury is official in terms of an out tag, that is going to be reflected here in the model, and then that will impact all of the other players, right, and their minutes, points, assist projections, as well as the rebounds and threes and everything that we're looking at here. And then if you do want to jump in on Props Madness, this is going to be the sports betting research tool that we use for matchups, pass lines, and the like here. This is going to be awesome and helpful if you use all these advanced filters that you have here as well. I use code LYB. That'll get you 25% off your first month with Props Madness. Let's start here, right, before we get into any of these actual player props. The line on this game is 14.5. The last game they just played with J-Dub available, right? The guy's not available in that last game on November 28th when they matched up. I believe that was a cup game as well. Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Hartenstein, Carlson, those guys weren't available. So Wiggins and Hartenstein didn't play in that game. We still saw 36 minutes. It was a 4 from SGA. It was a 4-point win for this Thunder squad. So this 14.5 points, like, look, the Suns have been undervalued all season. If you think this is staying within 14.5 for the majority of this game, then you got to give these guys full minutes. It's an NBA Cup game, and SGA is at 31.5 points. So anything that I talk about here in terms of taking an over on certain guys, this is going to be predicated on us believing that 14.5 is a little bit high of a number, and that it's going to be a little bit closer to a 10-point game, 8 to 12 in that range for the majority of the game. But reason enough to keep guys like SGA, J-Dub, Chet Holmgren, and your starters all on the floor. So SGA at 31.5 to me is a bet, and so is J-Dub. Like, I think both these dudes are being undervalued, in part because I think the blowout is the projected blowout here with the market saying 15 or 14.5, 15 points is the spread. That's to keeping these lines down for guys like J-Dub and SGA because they're not as likely to play as many minutes. If you look at SGA for starters, and we can filter this on Props Madness to where we go the win-loss margin. And if we look at this and say, what about games where they win by at least 15 points? SGA down to 30 points, right? If you say it's like 15 to 20, because we'll say it's a 14.5 point spread, then yeah, this is going to be a game, even 21. That's the only one that he scored over. He's at 29, still really close to the 31.5. And again, I think if this is even at 15 points for the majority of the game, it's a cup game, and you want to make sure you win it. They're definitely determined to win the cup. I would think they're a good future bet right now to win the cup. So I think the 15 plus, even though this looks at about 29, I think you give them the nice bump. I think 32 is still beatable. This is the last number I'd play. 31.5 is the last number I would take on the over for the points for him. But J-Dub is in the same boat here, where it's like, this is 18.5. to me, the only reason it's there is because you're assuming that J-Dub is still on some kind of minutes limit, and I don't know why you would assume that. If you look at the games here where he's played close to full, so first game back against this squad, he plays 29 minutes, only scores 11 points, 12 shots. Not impressive numbers for taking it over on his points, but then the next game, they only win by 8, he goes full. So takes 18 shots, plays 34 minutes, had a bad shooting night, getting his legs under him in the NBA after not playing for a long time. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Next game against the Dubs, 12-point game, close enough to get him to 33 minutes. The games that he's not getting to 30 minutes, like the Mavs and even the Jazz, where he played 25 minutes, they're winning by 30, 25 points, whatever. Again, if we assume that they're not going to win by 25, 30 points, then you give him 32 to 34 minutes, then 18 and a half points is just not enough. If you look at his career as a whole, like look at him over the course of his whole career, he's averaging 20.3 points. He's averaging 33 and a half minutes. That's what I'm saying. 32 to 34 minutes, 33 minutes. That would be the average. So 20 points should be the line for J-Dub. When he's playing with SGA, it doesn't matter. If you go to with and without, put SGA in, it's not going to matter to me. The minutes at that amount, right? It's still 20 points with SGA. It doesn't really change. So he's playing with SGA his whole career. He is the second dude. I think this is a great opportunity for him and taking the over on the points here for him. The assists are super high, which I think is wild. Did he dime? Yeah, he had 8 against them in the last game on 15 chances. And again, the matchup he's not going to get the Dillon Brooks stuff. He's probably getting a little bit more Royce O'Neal. That's who we saw guard him when they matched up last time. I still think the points are a better look here. The assists are always a crapshoot. And then 5.5 is fair. Like if he's at 4.5 rebounds, I like going over. If he's at 4.5 assists, I like going over. That's not where he's at on those props. So I just think the points are the only way I'd look at this one as the best play for the over for J-Dub. And even until we get to 32.5 for SGA, I think you got to play an over for him as well. Devin Booker playing is a big deal. So we don't necessarily want to go too crazy on Suns props until we know about that. But I think Mark Williams, this is crazy to me that he's at 9.5 points, still at 7.5 rebounds. I almost didn't even want to put this in the video in the off chance that enough people get to it and start to push the line themselves. Like, please don't. But if you're going to bet overnights, I guess, get after it. He just played against the squad, played 22 minutes, took 9 shots. If he's taking 9 shots, I absolutely love him to make 5 of them to get to 10. That's what he did in the last game, plus he had 3 free throws, right? The rebounds, he had in this last game against them, 14 on 18 chances in 22 minutes. This is what I was talking about at the top here, where I was going through the lineups and going, I love Mark Will to bully Chet Holmgren. I think this is a great matchup for him. It's a reason that I would say if Daigneault was looking at this game going, all right, we only won by 4, right? OKC played well. Obviously, Booker was in. If Booker's in now, I still think you have to really care about Mark Williams. Mark Williams is averaging 16 points per 36 minutes when he plays with Devin Booker, plus 11 boards per 36. We have to pencil him in for 25. Like, he is kind of made of glass in a way that they're not going to play him more than 25. That seems to be the projection for him on the season, no matter who's playing with him or who's not, right? He's at 25.1 minutes with Devin Booker, without Devin Booker, doesn't matter. So I think he's going to be at that in this game, and the projection should be closer to about 12 and a half on the points, and the rebound should be 8.5. I just, everything's deflated because it's a really good defense, but centers, especially centers playing against an OKC team without Isaiah Hartenstein, they're going to be able to do their thing a little bit more because he is going to be able to bully Chet. So I love Mark Will. It's the only play that I feel comfortable with right now before I know what's up with Devin Booker. But if Devin Booker's out and Dillon Brooks does go up a couple points, this is a little sneaky thing here that I'm just going to kind of give you sort of if this, then that situation. If Devin Booker out, Dillon Brooks points go up. Wait for that, and then you can bet under on Dillon Brooks points because I don't like him as a primary ball handler against OKC trying to get his own shot against this team off the pull-up and whatnot. It's not a good matchup. He's just going to get the best defender on the other team because they know he's now the number 1 option. He's better off with Booker being out there in the number 2 option big time in terms of going over on his points. It's going to be a weird reverse effect. So I'll be looking to fade Brooks if Devin Booker's out and we get him up to like, say, 21.5 points. Another reminder, Novig is the sportsbook exchange of the month, but I also am ready to add on here Kalshi. These 2 sportsbook exchanges are a great way to not have to bet against the house. You can bet against your fellow bettors here, right? Other people are going to list lines that you can bet against and vice versa. If you want to set some lines and see if people are willing to take some action based on the odds and everything that you're putting out there, Kalshi is going to be a great way to do that. So is Novig. For both of these sportsbook exchanges, go ahead and use code LYB. Get all your bonus bets there. And if you do want to get into the projections up on the site on landyourbets.com, those Swishland projections, we will give you your first month free using the projections if you sign up using this code here. Just email support@landyourbets.com. Let us know that you did sign up for Kalshi or Novig here, and we'll go ahead and get you access, like I said, to the website, to those projections for your first month free. Second and final game of the night here, got the Spurs in LA taking on the Lakers. Got De'Aaron Fox, Vassell. We know Castle's good now off the injury report. Harrison Barnes and Luke Cornett. Only guy injured is going to be Victor Wembanyama. And then Reeves, Hachimura, James, Doncic, Ayton. You can see how I have them matching up with each other. Things that could be a little bit different. Maybe Hachimura takes Castle instead of James, but I do imagine that they want a better defender. Reeves on Fox either way, and Cornett and Ayton. We know that's the matchup. And then Doncic on Barnes, which means Harry Barnes, maybe some points, maybe some threes in the corner with Luka not wanting to get out there, being the sort of turnstile that he is on defense. And then maybe Luka rebounds, because if you're guarding Harrison Barnes, then you're going to be standing on that baseline, and that's going to put you in a good spot to go ahead and get rebounds, especially the ones that come off the back rim or the front rim in that spot. But that's a great rebounding spot is the point. Anybody guarding Harrison Barnes consistently is going to be in a good spot for boards, especially the way we know Luka wants to get those boards and go. Keep that in mind. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Reverse this, put the Lakers on offense. We're gonna have Castle on Luka. There's some on both sides here. There are some offensive advantages, I would say. Like Castle, a good matchup. Luka's an offensive advantage over literally everybody. But then Reeves, Vassell, you have to put Vassell on Reeves, because you can't put him on James. You can't put Fox on either James or Reeves. So you kind of have to put Fox on Hachimura, since you know his usage is going to be low. You don't have to, but I think you'd prefer it. Vassell, they could mix it up, but either way, there's gonna be some problems. I think there's gonna be some matchups that the Lakers can definitely exploit, whether it's size or whether it's who's guarding LeBron James, etc. And then Cornett, Ayton, I think Ayton should be able to have his way a bit as well. But let's take a look at what we've got here on Props Madness, starting things out and go down to this one. And a couple things that I'm looking at in this one, and there were some looks that I've had recently consistently. Let's just go to the Spurs for a minute, because I think they're a little bit easier to contend with rather than worrying about who's going to do what for the Lakers right now. Still love Stephon Castle. I need some information before I bet on him about, is he going to be at 23 minutes again, like he was against the Pelicans? Is he going to get up to 30 minutes in this one? He did start last game. I think he's probably good for full minutes. I think they got him in last game just because they're like, look, we don't want your first game back to be against the Lakers in the Cup. Let's get you back from injury against the Pelicans, get your legs under you. Man took 15 shots in 23 minutes, man. I don't think we should be worried about him at this point. The assists were at 5 in 23 minutes on 8 potentials, and the boards were also at 5 on 11 rebound chances. I mean, I love the boards at 4.5. If you put him at 30 minutes in this one, you're talking about much closer to 13, 14 rebound chances, which is what he's averaging on the season in 31 minutes, 13 rebound chances, which you can see here. He's playing 31 minutes a game. He's at 11 rebound chances in those 31 minutes. But when he does get 30 plus this season, he's averaging 13 rebound chances. So if we get him to 30 plus in this one, I do think that's closer to where his number should be, is the 5.5 for sure, maybe even 6.5. 5.5 would be fair, and that's what I'd still be. If it was 5.5 plus money by tomorrow, I'm good with an over on that for Stephon Castle. The assists, those are still pretty good, but he's actually scoring more when he's playing with De'Aaron Fox, and when he's playing without Wemby in general. He's up at about 22 points per 36 minutes playing without Wemby and with De'Aaron Fox. If you don't even have De'Aaron Fox on the floor with him and there's no Wemby, he's up at 24 points per 36 minutes this season. So I think Stephon Castle points, if we get him, again, even at 28 minutes, I think 15.5 points is going to be a pretty good over, as he's going to be attacking the rim. The Lakers paint defense, it's pretty good in the extended paint. DeAndre Ayton's not a good drop defender, and he's not even really doing that. There's really no good rim protector for this team. So you feel pretty good about Stephon Castle abusing the rim against the Lakers. In their last game against them, he had 37 minutes, didn't shoot very well, but got to the line 11 times. And that's what I'd be expecting from him once again in this one. Do like the points right now, and the rebounds is my two favorite bets for Stephon Castle if those numbers hang around where they're at. And then Dylan Harper, love this dude. Only took him on the rebounds and the assists last game. He went clean over for us on the 6.5. It's still 6.5. I mean, it was plus 100 last game, but it's minus 104. I know the Pelicans are a horrible opponent, and we got the benefit of him probably getting some blowout minutes, but they only won by 3, and he still played 26 minutes. The points are hard to go away from. I think the PA or the PRA is still good enough, because he took 16 shots in 26 minutes. And even though he had a bad game against the Cavs, this is another game where I think he's a decent bet to score and assists. And so the PA, what is that, 17? Yeah, 15 and a half because Castle's around. Like, he's actually averaging 10 rebounds and assists per 36 minutes when he's playing on the floor with both Castle and De'Aaron Fox, or just one of them on the floor. Those, like, that's his number. So he's rarely playing with both of them at the same time, even when they're both available. With just one of them on the floor, 10 RA per 36, 6.5 is still a good edge. But he's also taking all these shots, man. So if you did take the PRA or the PA, I think it's all good. My preferred bet here is going to be RA at 6.5. And then I probably play the points separate as a separate bet at 12.5. I still think anything 11 or 12.5 is a good bet for Harper based on the 25-minute projection that we should have for him. And then looking at Austin Reeves, this is the only thing I'm really looking at right now. I mean, this stuff's so dumb high. I'm not in a rush to bet under on the points, but I am kind of waiting for this assist to maybe get bet and get over to 5.5, and then I'm down to take an under because he's averaging 1.5 assists per 36 minutes when he's on the floor with Luka and with LeBron. It's very easy to see that when he's playing with Luka and with LeBron this season, he's not getting 5 assists. He's not getting 6 assists, is where I really love him to be at. And his potential assists drop all the way down to about 7 per game when he's playing with these guys. I don't like him to get 5 dimes against one of the best assist defenses. And actually, they're not. They're 21st because they are giving up a bit more to the spot up, but he's not doing that. He's not doing ball handling, find open guys, drive and kick. He's definitely the beneficiary of LeBron and Luka having the ball in their hands way more and then trying to find him on the spot up. So the books agree, obviously. 4.5 points or assists rather is still low for a guy averaging 6.7 on the season, but he's a different guy when he's playing with these two superstars that are going to be out there with him. So I'd be looking to see this get to 5.5 and then go under on the dimes. I'd love to fade the points, but I'm going to stay away from it for right now, despite the fact that I think he's still going to have a pretty tough matchup with the guys guarding him. But that is all the time I have for you guys in this one. Definitely make sure to stay tuned, subscribe to that channel. Nate's going to be here with Thursday Night Football for you guys on tomorrow on Wednesday to get ahead of that stuff, and I'll be back with the rest of the NBA this week. So until I see y'all next, happy betting.